Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll play hybrid, or more like continue to play the interactive fiction called Hybrid, made with the tool Twine. I'm really excited to see where this is going. Yeah, let's continue. So, I must say it's been a while I didn't play, so let me read the last screen. So it's actually more like a communication of concepts. Oh yeah, okay. It can take a little while since they don't experience certain things the way we do. Okay, yeah. So I remember we showed Mantis, um, this lady that we can kind of communicate with plants, and that the plants are not hurting us. And she seemed to be really wary of coming closer to these plants because probably they harm normal humans, but we are not a normal human. Probably we're some kind of hybrid, just like the title suggests. Okay, so actually you're not sure how Mantis experiences things, but she at least seems to participate in the same civilization as you. Not that I've been a very active participant, you think grimly. We need to talk to Marsh, she says, her voice shaking. Do we? You'd really rather you'd really rather this stay between the two of you now. We could just forget this ever. We're going to see Marsh, she snaps. Okay, but I'm suddenly thinking it's not such a good idea. Manny! Oh my gosh, it's gonna expose us. I don't know what this would mean if we're exposed, but. The two of you turn to Crave, who bursts through the door, out of breath and shaking. Manny, shit! Come on! What? She reaches out to him, and he grabs her hand, starting to drag her. Fuck, Crave, what's going on? Crave shudders to a halt, still fidgeting but almost assentingly still compared to the state of panic he was in before. Huh? He brings his hand to his mouth, gnawing on the knuckle of his thumbs so hard that it looks painful. Uh-oh. He speaks around it, muffled but damningly comprehensible. Roach sent a messenger. Wait, what? I don't understand what's going on. Huh? What? You don't think Mantis can hear you right now, which isn't novel, but you also don't think she can hear Crave. He's loping along ahead of you, his long legs still not fast enough to catch his sister. You imagine she'll break right through the wall rather than use the door to re-enter the main building, making a beeline for receiving where the messenger is waiting for their audience. To your surprise, she pivots, heading for a much less sturdy lean to that seems to have been added on. Mantis, no, Crave says, his voice far less firm than you imagine would give Mantis pause. She disappears and you look to her brother. Mantis, fuck's sakes. She exits the lean to with a gun and continues on her way. Manny, I'm being so fucking serious right now, Crave shouts, taking off in a full sprint. Mantis responds in kind, and you speed up, keeping them in sight. Stop running! The two of you follow at her heels until you reach the door of receiving, the wide set of double doors that leads to the room where you were briefly held last night. Mantis has stopped, slipping the gun into the waist of her pants, which seems unsafe, which is kind of sexy, which is confusing. Which is kind of sexy, but you keep that thought to yourself, then turning to Crave. No snitching, she says harshly. Mantis, no snitching, Crave. It's just to feel safe. Wait, I'm so confused right now. What? Okay, I'll understand in a second. My fucking ass it is. He's flushed from running and arguing with her, which she uses to her advantage, swanning through the doors like nothing is amiss, her bagging sweater hiding to the bulge at her waist. You follow, making sure to place yourself behind Mantis. Crave opts to approach her, winding his arms around her shoulders as if to restrain her. What's going on? You see a meeting already in progress, which you guess means that Mantis and Crave aren't unwelcome, but weren't the primary audience for such an event. The messenger in question stands relaxed, unbothered by Trigger's gun aimed at the back of their neck and the animosity that Mantis is radiating. More gas? They ask, and Marsh stands unflinching. You notice that she has something the others don't. Despite her relaxed, stoic face, you see the glimmer of an aura around her, like a pollen. Like a pollen? Is she becoming a plant or something? Anxiety, or maybe it's us understanding through plants metaphors. Anxiety bubbles around her, making her air uneasy. You're here on behalf of Roach. Get to the message or stop wasting our time, she says firmly. You wonder if everyone sees how frightened she is. I think I know just about everyone in this room except for the scarecrow, they continue casually. Your mind flickers to Crave, but their eyes land on you. All right, you think uneasily. You're doing your utmost to be person-shaped right now. With all your tidy clothes lost to the saking of the farm, Scarecrow is a little harsh, you think. You were told to relay your message, Trigger says in a flat, cold voice. You very nearly flinch. If you thought they were all upset about you showing up, it's nothing in comparison to this stranger. You were told to relay your message? Fine, just making conversation. Mantis has leaned forward as far as Crave will allow her to go, her eyes boring into the messenger. It's difficult to get a read on her. She shot first and asked questions never when it came to you, so why is she restraining herself now? Although, what can I say that none of you already know? Say it, you stupid cunt. Oh, Mantis whispers, long enough for you to hear, but not too loud that anyone makes note of her. She's barely blinking. I didn't find you all here myself. Could be bluffing, Trigger says, the barrel of his gun twitching. I'm not. I was sent here to offer you what Roach offers to everyone. 3 days. Submit or be eliminated. Mantis' pale face flushes hard, a violent red that makes her look ill. Crave, in contrast, looks like all the color bled out of him except his brown roots. Oh, yeah, okay, I remember. Yeah, so Roach is like this bad guy around that has probably some kind of a lot of power and a lot of people under him. Then I don't think we have anything else to say to each other, Marsh says finally. Crave slackens, losing his grip on Mantis, who dives out of the room. You don't hesitate to dive after her, instinct telling you that you need to find out what her plan is. This isn't at all the move of the person who shot you in the leg just for being in the wrong place. You pump your legs hard to catch up with her as she sprints. I wonder if I'm trying to catch up with her and instead of staying just because I had some interactions with her and I chose to go with her. I don't know. So, as she sprints through the halls, the two of you pushing through crowds of people anxiously gossiping about what's going on in receiving. A few realize that Mantis is the one shoving through them and that you're following her, but thankfully no one tries to stop you, although you might have liked it if someone had tried to stop her. You almost lose her once or twice, but she doesn't end up shaking you entirely and you scramble after her as she lifts herself into the rafters with a powerful heave off a conveniently placed stack of crates. You wonder, as they rattle underneath you, if she's just good as assessing her environment and making snap decisions, or if this has always been orchestrated to allow her to escape into the bare skeleton of the ceiling structure. Following her across the beams is far more difficult than chasing her through the crowds was, but luckily she's navigating the ceiling with more care for her surroundings than she did on the ground. You note with uncertainty that she either doesn't see you or doesn't care that you're there. As she pulls out the gun, she still has jam in her pants and crouches now. Oh, no, what? Wait. She pulls out the gun. She still has jam in her pants and crouches low. Who's she? Is she like trying to assassinate the roach guy? So either we can do Mantis, say nothing, crouch beside her, say nothing, stay hidden. I'm just gonna say her name. Shut up, she snaps quietly, her eyes focused on what you can now see is the door just past receiving. You didn't notice doubling back during the chase, but watch as Crave darts out from the doors she's watching, looking around like he's going to find her. He vanishes just in time for the door to open again and the messenger to step out. I said it. Mantis' gun flashes as the straightens, holding it out in front of her and pulling the trigger. Boom! Did she succeed? You brace against the noise and the shock, your eyes blown open so wide you're almost sure that if she squinted, she'd see the whites through the goggles. The whites? Uh-huh. You just shot the messenger, you burst. No one else was gonna do it, she says defensively, as if that's what you were implying. Her eyes seem wetter than normal, and you can't help but see that she left the gun behind when she came to help you. It's not very safe, it's not very stable, and if ever there was a time to leave, it'd be now. Oof. So we can either stay with Mantis, or find Trigger, or see with where Crave went. I mean, if I was in this situation, I would stay with Mantis to like also maybe try to hide with her and maybe try to protect her. I don't completely remember what Trigger is actually doing. I don't think... And why would I care about where Crave went? Because it was implied. It was not implied. It was actually said that it looks like he's gonna try to find Mantis, but I don't know. I would stay with her. You didn't bail on her when she shot you. So by your own logic, you should stick around for this. Yeah, you're at least interested in finding out what the hell's going on exactly. And so you steady yourself on the beam until she nods shortly. Can you cope? She asks, and you nod. Can we get down? You ask, and she rolls her still glistening eyes. Whatever, let's blow. She doesn't look at you as she climbs back down off the beam and to solid ground, sidestepping the person she shot and starting down the hall. You follow, feeling a hazy sense of unreality settle over you as you carefully keep your head up to avoid looking at the dead body. It all happened so fast. You don't have the bandwidth for that right now. When she finally stops, hopping up to sit on a pile of salt bags, you can see that she's faintly shaking. What happened? You ask. It seemed to be the most pertinent question you can ask. Yeah, really. That was one of Roach's bugs. Well, he said it himself. That is perhaps the least relevant question implied by what you asked her. Yes, exactly. It was there to kill us. I don't think it's that easy, you argue, and she snorts. What the hell would you know? You didn't even know who he was until we told you. That's true, but you don't think the critical piece of the puzzle that she's missing is that she just killed a person forever dead. You heard them, same as I did. They found us, they exposed us, and now Roach is going to come kill us. Wouldn't killing their messenger make things worse? You have no experience with murderers? But going based on books... Oh, so you're reading books? Okay. Antagonizing a murderer doesn't usually work out great. Which technically you guess is what you're doing right now. What's the difference? What's worse than killing us? She asked. And you can think of a few novel examples, but you don't say because you expect that she believes whatever gory, slow kill she can imagine is on the table for either side. But besides, Roach doesn't give a fuck about some pawn he sent to threaten us. That's why he sent them. He, I didn't invent shooting the messenger. Ha 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 ha. You crouch, testing to see if small makes you feel any better about how fast things are suddenly moving. It doesn't. And being in this hard concrete building cuts you off from the faint hum of life, from the dirt and grass. Rock feels a little different, more like a big body of water whose voice echoes back to itself over an unsurmountable distance. So what now? Now my brother will show up to scold me and drag me back into the room so that Marsh can tell me I'm too unruly to be left alone. And so I'll need to help Crave with whatever task she assigns him. But that's not important. The task isn't important? Why not? You have a plan. Well, I don't think the task is important. I think, yeah, you have a plan. I do, she says with a very faint smile, like she's pleasantly surprised at how easily you caught on. You please too. If only for the novelty of hearing the gunman's solution to the problem, let's hear it. It's a large-scale problem, right? But our enemy has a name and face, she says. His followers are gloaters and cowards. If the head is cut off the snake, then the whole operation dissolves into 1,000 weak packs. Are you sure that's the route you want to go? You ask. There's a lot you could say in argument. The risk of a power vacuum, the act of killing, the viability of killing just the one person, if that's even on her radar. But you don't think any of it would matter to her. I know what it sounds like, given what you've seen over the past few days, she says haltingly. But murder isn't usually my first suggestion. She seems earnest, but you don't finish her sentence. That seems to be her go-to only when it comes to Roach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she mentioned also that she thought we were with Roach, so that tracks. If nothing else, she has the tact to fall silent after answering your question, waiting for you to push. There's a lot to push back on, but very little, you think, that would change her mind. Barring a situation where you reveal her plan to Marsh and Mantis gets restrained and corralled away until the threat's passed, you think she's going to do this. You don't have to respond right now, she says, almost delicately, before reassuming a harsh look. You just have to stay out of my way. Right. Maybe we can talk about this again after Marsh actually has a say, you ask. All well and good to plan, along the assumption that she'll be quietly lost in the shuffle of preparation. But if Marsh actually wants her to evacuate civilians, you'd rather she at least consider the option. Oh, you don't care, so we gotta choose. You don't care if she wants to kill this guy. But he's already dead. Or do we mean Roach? What? You're kind of but this guy is Roach. Right? We're talking about Roach. You're kind of into the idea of killing this guy. Definitely wouldn't prefer. You have no idea how to react to the idea of killing this guy. You don't care if she wants to kill this guy. Well, I mean, we're biased, right? If we start to see the story from their perspective, so we would be into killing this guy because he doesn't seem like he's threatening others, obviously. You definitely would prefer she didn't kill this guy. It seems like a violent society, though. I think you definitely would prefer she didn't kill this guy, but expressing that isn't going to be the most efficient use of your time. You need more information than what Mantis is giving you, or else you'll be more in the dark than you already are. Her eyes soften, but her mouth goes tense. You're new. You don't get it yet, but you'll see. Everything happens the same every time. Crave doesn't want people to fight. Trigger marches towards fights like he's already dead. Marsh wants to believe in a world where we can thrive, but it'll always end the same way as long as the fucking roach crawls around in the trash. Her head snaps up and she stares at you hard, the intensity of her eyes making you hot and cold all over. Ooh, are we like is it some romantic stuff or is it just fear? Her eyes are so intently focused that you wonder if she can see yours. Black and blinking back at her. But it's said that they were mismatched brown and blue. Oh, black and green. I love black and green. Black and blue, blue and green, violet and red. Oh, wow. I thought we had white eyes, but I guess it was just the white of our eyes. I liked black. What was it? Oh no, wait. Black and blue, blue and green. I don't remember. No. No, black and green. Black and green. Yes. Blinking back at her. It has to change. I can't take it anymore. You open your mouth, not sure what's about to come out of it, when you both twitch at the shrill squeak of rubber on the floor. Crave turns the corner, breathing out a heavy, annoyed sigh. There you are. Marsh called the meeting, she says to you. Her voice low enough that her brother doesn't hear her. You'll see now. What were you thinking? He demands, and she tosses her head. You want me to answer that? Really? She asks, and he rolls his eyes. You always get like this, he argues. Who knows what you brought down on our heads? You fucking well know what's coming down on our heads. Hell or high water. She snaps back, diving into the argument with aplomb. So you finally want to act like you weren't the only one who lost something back then? Crave's face is flushed red and there's tears prickling in his eyes. Oh, it smells like trauma here. Mantis seems unmoved, but you're not really surprised. She doesn't seem like tears do much to tip her scales, but she did a little bit before. I'm the only one who knows that cringing and hiding isn't gonna protect us forever. We'll live on our feet or die with a shot in our backs. Mm-hmm. Can we not do this? This isn't going anywhere. You don't want to fight. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. If people see you fighting, it's only gonna make things worse, you say, your voice low and urgent. They might not be able to see you, but they'll sure as shit hear you. Both of them turn to stare at you, not angry but almost confused, as if they'd forgotten you were there at all. A talent that you have, because you know better than to loudly argue in public. Crave turns away from his sister and you, fidgeting in the silence. Marsh wants everyone in the office. We're coming, she says shortly. Come on, Manny. You know I can't go back without you. Who said that? She asks, but for once her tone isn't accusatory. The lack of anger in her voice seems to set Crave at ease. No one, but you know it's implied. She walks to her brother and squeezes his shoulder. It's not implied because you think it. Tell them I'm coming and bringing Zed with me. See, I can't run off because I'm in charge of Zed. He huffs, straightening up. No Zed's job to take you from place to place, he says firmly. Not yours either. I'll be right there. She slammed her palm against his back and he jumped, taking a lazy swipe at her as he backed up. Promise, she added, as if to coax him into leaving. You better. Okay. So they're not too mad? You wait until Crave turns a corner, and then for a couple mental elderberries, 1 elderberry, 2 elderberries, 3 elderberries, Elderberry. Before you look back at Mantis. What about Crave, you ask, and she sighs. What about him? You're not letting him on the plan, you say, watching to see her reaction. She fixes you with a look, and you stare back unflinchingly. Come on. Crave couldn't take it. He'd fold and tell Marsh before we even left the building. And Marsh would stop you? She wouldn't want me to get hurt, Mantis scoffs, as if it's an inconvenience. But I'm just one person. If I can stop Roach from if I can stop Roach from ever getting to step foot in here, then it doesn't matter what happens to me. No! You can't really think that. I mean, I understand, but you're... Hmm. You can't really think that. How can you not, she asks. Because I think your friends and your brother would be crushed to lose you, even if it did win them the building. They could take camp anywhere, but you're their only sister. You tell her seriously. She rolls her eyes, which wasn't the intended effect. What is she, 14? Is she a teenager? I don't remember if it was told somewhere. I thought she was older. I'm not talking about this with you. No, she must be older. No. I'm not talking about this with you. You asked why Crave wasn't gonna be involved, and I told you. He'll stop me or he'll want to come, and he'll fuck with everything. You open your mouth again, but she holds up her hand. I don't want to die. I'm just saying that if the body count stays at 1... 3, you correct, thinking of the messenger and the theoretical man she wants to kill. Whatever. Better than the dozen of people that'll go in the evac. Won't he be mad when he finds out you kept it from him, you ask? And she shrugs. Either I'm dead and it doesn't matter, or I'm alive and it's best case scenario, so he can't really complain. She speaks with such certainty that you don't bother to point out that he would, by no means, forgive being deceived just because it turned out all right in the end. It seems like she would rather intentionally downplay that scenario, so there's no point in arguing it. I don't need you to agree or even come with me if you're just gonna argue to the point the whole way. All you have to do is try to stop me. Huh? I don't know. All you have to do is not try to stop me. Yeah. I wonder if we went with Crave, would have Crave done that instead of her? Or would something completely different have happened? I wonder. While a sufficiently dramatic closing line, the two of you are going to the same place. You fall into step in silence, your mind racing. Mantis earnestly believes that the only solution to the problem would be to kill Roach, the one orchestrating the attack on the camp. She seems so confident that no one else would agree with her that she isn't even going to bother to tell them. Yeah, that's so weird. I'm sure there are other people who want to kill Roach. Okay, but will you? Ha! It's a dangerous plan, but one that you don't even know half of. Exactly what I was gonna say. I don't even know any of the factors here. How many people are there? How far away is there? How can we hide? Is it really feasible with 2 people? It's kind of, will I have a weapon? Can we have a sniper? What kind of weapon are available in this world? Okay, back to reading. She wants to leave. She wants to leave to go seek him out. But how would she get to him after that? Because he knows that he sent a messenger and stuff. So, is she relying on him being somewhere on the road with the people he's sending to the camp? You don't get the sense she's keen to divulge more information to you until you're on board, which might mean jumping before you can see the bottom of this particular pit. You don't think you'd be more useful than a spare pair of hands here, of course, but, well, you know nature. You can communicate with nature. Maybe you should tell someone what she's gonna do. Crave would want to know. Marsh would too. Maybe they aren't as against the idea as Mantis imagines, or maybe they are, and telling them would fuck up everything. Or telling them would fuck up everything, but save her life. Oh, okay, so possibilities are, but the mission means more power, more to her than her life. Her life is more important than whatever her plan is. How can you decide between her life and her cause? To me, it feels like a passionate but foolish plan. With the wisdom of age that I possess, I would say this is foolish. High risk, high reward, like men would say. Hmm. I mean, knowing me, I would still go with this because I love revolutions. Um, I mean, it depends. Can I have weapons? Could I use nature on my advantage so that we fight this guy? Okay, but the possibilities we have here is basically going with her, telling the others, and not decide anything, which is not doing anything is still a choice. It's still making a decision. Not making a decision is still making a decision. Ha. I think she's too foolish, and if she wants this plan to go further, she needs help. And this would work only if you have an actual plan and if you have actual help, because this is the kind of, okay, I'm going into psychoanalysis here, but like this is the kind of behavior that people with hyperdependence would have. I feel like not like just going all alone into a foolish kind of plan, a very risky plan, when in reality, maybe if you talk to the other people, it might be that you can get help. Often you just have to ask, even though it's like more complicated than just asking for help. It's about like, okay, let's can you help me kill that guy? I think I would, like, she I feel like she doesn't understand what it really means, because she speaks of it so lightly too. I don't know. I would say her life is more important than whatever her plan is. I don't know, because she trusts us. I'm gonna tell the others. If she doesn't want to value her own life, that's her problem. You have to keep people safe even if they don't want you to. All dying accomplishes is death. She's scared, she's frustrated, she's definitely angry, but her dying about it isn't going to do anything but break everyone's hearts. You don't even know if she could pull off whatever plan she has. There's always the friction point of her being flat out unable to skillfully kill this man, or his death not having the effect she wants. You're thinking too loud, Mantis growls from beside you. Her dark eyes are fixed in front of her, framed by pale eyelashes. There's a lot on my mind, you defer. She doesn't need to be reminded of... Maybe it doesn't even matter what I choose. She doesn't need to be reminded of just how much is at stake here, so you don't. We're turning out to be more trouble than we're worth, she says agreeably, which isn't what you said. Makes you wonder why you're even still here. So, I can't just let this guy wipe you all out. I'm not safer on my own. I would never leave you guys to your fate. Well, I mean, in principle, this character never really had other friends than her sister Pooja, I think. And probably she would start to feel close to these people. But it's also, the truest thing is that I'm not safer on my own, I think. Yeah. Whatever context I lack, you guys have. I don't think someone willing to forcibly subsume an entire building full of people would hesitate at all in attacking me. At best, I would buy myself a couple days head start, but even that is kind of negated, unless for some reason you guys were super dedicated to keeping my presence in your camp a secret, you explain. How practical of you, she says with a laugh. I don't disagree. You smile faintly. The best person to have in your corner is someone who lacks the same exits as you do. That you do. Anyone that can feign sentimentality, and you can't rely on the principle of strangers. Can I rely on someone who needs an exit as bad as I do? She asks, and you shrug. Seems true for me, so I guess we both just have to take the risk. You'd like to argue that you're risking more than them by just being so different from them, but that would defeat the purpose of the layers. She leads you to a small door with marsh painted on its neat, sloping handwriting. Okay. Along with several very pretty leaves and flowers, and several less pretty ones. Evidently, the door has multiple artists. Mantis freezes, takes one deep, vulnerable breath, and then storms in. So we're gonna go tell the others? She agreed. Did I miss that? Oh, okay. You fade gratefully into the background, while you were technically the reason for her appearing. You're sure that if you try to center yourself in this conflict, you'll be swiftly kicked out. I'm here, she announces, moving to sit next to her brother. Everyone, no, it's the meeting. Everyone else is already present. Trigger looks like he's only just barely sit on the planet. What? Crave immediately wraps his arm around his sister like she's going to run, and Jinso leans against a bookshelf just behind Marsh, who's staring blankly down at her desk. I should have done more to prepare us, Trigger says, his eyes soft and blank. Of anyone here, he doesn't even seem interested in reprimanding Mantis. I knew it was coming. It was always coming. No one expected... So there's a meeting also because we know that the guy was killed by Mantis. Is this what's happening? Okay, we'll find out. No one expected anything more than what you gave, Trigger, Marsh says firmly. I did, he shoots back. Since when do we listen to you? Mantis asks flippantly, and Crave lets out a sharp bark of laughter, like the act of finding anything funny surprised even him. You notice that Mantis watches Trigger even as everyone else offers a faint smile. His mouth twitches and she seems to relax. We need a plan, he asserts. We can divide everyone up once we know what we're doing. So we're gonna go this? We need someone to run emergency evac, Marsh says. She moves like she's fighting a current to do so, her aura high and sharp with a hazy purple color like deep sleep. Okay, so we see auras. This is kind of new, no? Did we have that before? I don't think so. She fights against the fear and disorientation with every gesture. Her eyes fix on the paper as she starts to write out what needs to get done. On it, Jinso says immediately. She nods and writes his name. And someone needs to make contact with the satellite base. Satellite base? Wait, does it mean just somewhere else on Earth, or is it like an actual, like, in the outer space or something? Trigger, can you do that? I'll check the radio, he says with a nod, and she writes his name. But Marsh, don't start, she says without looking up, her voice low like someone who's trying not to cry. Oh, Yours is the only department that you've trained to work without you here, without you there, Trigger. Just check the radio and we'll follow up. Mm-hmm. Crave, you'll coordinate the evacuation of Flora first. Flora? Okay, interesting. And any critical samples after that. Crave nods and you think you see tears pool in his eyes more than anyone else. So we're evacuating everybody. We're kicking everybody out, basically. Crave seems rawly afraid of what's to come. Mantis, can you please just help your brother? Of course, she says, her voice almost uncharacteristically soft. She leans over and whispers something to him, resting her head around against his shoulder. With only her heartbeat heartbeat of hesitation, his plaster's hand reaches out to squeeze hers. She acquiesced so quickly that you are almost confused. Did she give up on her plan so easily? Trigger files out, still looks untethered, and Jinso crouches down to speak to Marsh. You rush out after Mantis and Crave, keeping a little behind. You don't know if you can arrange your face neutrally when it comes to speaking to Mantis' brother right now. So, we'll need a list of everything that needs to go, Crave says, hearing a sigh that seems to come from somewhere so deep in him that he just barely avoids having out his own soul. Focus on the animals, Mantis says immediately. I have running inventory of the bugs, but worst case, we can just release them. We don't have any long-distance specimens right now, so they have a collection of plants and animals, because we spoke about flora a bit earlier. So, yeah, we don't have any long-distance specimens right now, so they should just naturally redistribute. And even if they didn't, we wouldn't have much of a choice. We have lists for the animals as well. They'll be harder to move. Are they doing like a Noah's Ark or something? Crave talks around in heavy breath, like he's trying his best not to dissolve into tears. Oh. Let me handle getting lists from the botanist, he says gently, rubbing up and down his back. He looks up, frowning. No, Fauna already has lists, so go gather them. I'll go tell Botany what I need from them. Botany also. You watch her think for a second. Then she nods. Okay, I'll defer to you. Crave relaxes, then fully sags like a deflated doll. Sorry. Thanks, Manny. With an almost supernatural perception as she comforts her brother, Mantis turns and makes eye contact with you. She jerks her head to indicate that you should follow, then slips away from Crave and joins you down the hall. What's the plan, you ask, and she snorts. We're going to get Crave his list. They're already made, so it won't take long. You're surprised that she's boring to go through with the actual task that she was assigned. You suppose he's still her brother, though, and clearly afraid. Maybe she didn't plan to help him all that much, but can't resist. You're mostly her silent partner for the chores. Standing beside her while she collects lists of various animals who are slow-moving, animals who are ill or otherwise injured and will be difficult to move. No! And domesticated creatures that need to live with the humans involved. The list of animals who are ready to be released on short notice with good prospect is disappointingly small, but not empty. With the bundle of papers she needs in hand, she turns and starts back towards Crave. Are we going to talk about... You prompt, and she shakes her head. Nothing's changed. Then what are we waiting for? It seems like something has actually. It's okay if things are different now. So either we go right now. Oh, I don't understand what this means, that something has changed. I guess something has changed? It seems like something has, actually. Let's go for it. Nothing has changed, she insists, her face stony. It doesn't cost me anything to help for 10 minutes, and it sets people at ease. Now shut up before you get us caught and follow me back to Marsh. Why is she, trusting us so much? It's also very wondering. Especially because she shot us, so... When the two of you get back to Marsh, the others have also drifted back from their task. You arrive just time to hear Trigger's report. The satellite station's gone completely silent overcomes news that seems like a heavy blow to everyone, even Mantis. The worst news comes immediately after, that Marsh is sending Trigger to investigate the site and retrieve whatever reinforcement he can. There's an argument, but you are only half listening. The news that Trigger isn't staying at camp seems to unsettle Mantis. Oh, I think if we would have gone with Trigger, we would have gone with him or something like this. Pretty sure. Crave steps forward next to offer, because then Then if we follow Mantis, for the people who would have followed other people, then it means we would just see like, oh yeah, and Mantis is gone or something like that. I'm guessing. So, Crave steps forward next to offer the papers he gathered, and Mantis hands hers off stiffly. Her brother's more than prepared to create priority evac for specimens as soon as the people start to leave. Marsh tries a couple times to actually read the papers, but despite the even expressions she tires to maintain, you can tell the information just can't penetrate at the moment. Good work, she says instead of anything substantive about what she just tried to summarize for herself. Crave, you'll be in charge of saving whatever we can. The prospect seems to terrify the man, but he nods with his jaw clenched shut. Mantis, help your brother. Fine, but I'm not hanging around him to do it, she snaps. I'm not a prisoner. No one said you were, she returns shortly. As if she'd been waiting for someone to say so, Mantis breaks off and storms away, past you. You think you're imagining when you hear her whisper, "Find me." Can I click that? No. Crave heaves out a sigh and grinds his knuckle to his eyes. I'm gonna go, he says. Not find Mantis, just rest. Lots to do. Let us know if you need help, Crave, she says, and his face tightens wordlessly as he gives a short nod and leaves. You turn to see if Trigger's going to stop you, but the room is empty. It's just you and Marsh now, something Marsh realizes at the same time. Bad time to visit, she offers with a smile, but it quickly fades. If you want to leave now, then do it. We won't stop you, I mean. I wouldn't have kept you here if I'd known all this was going to happen. Yeah. I think it's okay. We'll be okay. It's a cycle, right? Or a river. It always feels like it's going to be one way forever, and then it's not. If there's one thing you've learned on your short journey, it's that every mountain is unclimbable from a distance, and your biggest enemy is deciding that before you even reach the base. You have to keep going, because nothing is forever, and the only way to get to the next thing is to keep moving. Yeah, very good life advice. A cycle kind of implies that it will be one way, in varying stages, forever, she points out, and you shrug. Like a river, then. Am I to assume you're staying, then? She asks, and you nod. You don't have anywhere else to go. You're friendly with the woods, but that only take you so far, and you doubt you'd fare very well with the next group of people you stumble across. Maybe it'd be a settlement, maybe it'd be a group of people attacking this one. I won't tell you where to go then. You pick. There's 2 initiatives that you need to help. Trigger or Crave. Or Mantis, you think to yourself. She's erratic, but you're still almost sure she was trying to signal you earlier. I get to work, you promise. Worry of promising anything to Marsh, who waves you off. She's got better things to worry about than where you're standing. Okay, so we're not telling anyone about what Mantis is doing. Oh my god. I think we have to choose now between following Mantis or Trigger. Oh yeah, because Trigger is gonna go to the other the satellite thing, and Crave is gonna do his thing with evacuating the animals. I think we're a bit too invested in Mantis, so we need to continue. But I'll close the episode here for now, and I'll see you in the next one. So we'll continue with Mantis, and in the meantime, happy playing. Try out this game. I would love to see what other paths there are, or like other possibilities, other storylines. I'm sure there are plenty. It's a really cool game, so please try it. I'll put the link in the description. Yeah, and I'll see you next time for the following of this story. So, bye-bye. So actually, after that, I clicked, and this is the end of the demo. So here is the end text, basically. The author is continuing the project, and with a little bit less personalization for the character in the entire game. I'll be looking into the games that they're building. I guess it's one of these links somewhere here or on the main page. But so yeah, this is it for the demo. I'm just gonna close it here because I don't know how long the real game has gone, if it's completely finished or not. So I'm just gonna close it off here. Actually, I really enjoyed this one. I think it was like it opened the stories to so many different branches and so many different things we can explore. And yeah, this is a really cool world, and I wish we knew a little bit more about ourselves, about our characters, Zed, or this thing that is going on with the plants and the past that they have and what's going on in this world. Yeah, I mean, this is a really really cool game, and I might try offline also to see the other possibilities just for fun. Yeah, so I can only recommend trying it out. The link will be in the description below, as always. And yeah, keep playing, keep having fun, and see you in the next one.